I think all summer long, or at least since my kids have gotten out of school, I have really wanted to go to the beach, and this prompt really, really makes me want to go to the beach very badly. Hello friends, happy Wednesday. So very excited that you're here. So excited that I'm here filming a new video. Again, sorry about last week, guys, in the hardcore binge reading cave of Queen's Quality, which I did a review of last Friday. But we're talking about Top 5 Wednesday, gonna be featuring some fantastic manga, or at least I hope, because I'll be honest, for today's recommendations or today's picks, I have not actually read all of them. I had to go on Instagram last night or yesterday evening, I think it was, and ask what are some books that fit this prompt, because I was like, I've got like 3 and that's it. And yeah, it was quite the struggle. So shout out to everybody who helped me on Instagram for today's prompt. But before I say what that prompt is, in case if you're not familiar with Top 5 Wednesday, in a nutshell, basically each week I answer a prompt using 5 books, but in this case I do manga to reflect the said prompt. And today's prompt is books set by the ocean, because tomorrow is the International Day of Tropics, and sort of to celebrate this holiday, we are just featuring books that are set by the ocean. These books could take place in the ocean or by the ocean or on an island. Just, you know, there has to be an ocean that plays a large part of the setting for these books to be featured today. Like I said, it was quite the struggle a little bit, because apparently I don't have a lot of books that are set by the ocean, and I was trying to think of titles that weren't necessarily like beachy reads, because I feel like often, at least for me, if it's a book that's set by the ocean, then I'm like, okay, this must be a beachy read. But I'm like, I don't really want to do just beachy reads. I don't know, I just want something sort of different, but I don't actually know if I was successful in doing that or not. So yeah, like especially with this first one, for number 1, this is probably a beachy read, even though I wasn't intending that, and that is Serenade of the Pirate King. This is a digital only title. I happened to come across it last night when I was on Amazon, and I was like, you know what, I have some Amazon promotional credit, I'm just gonna go ahead and try it, and it was fun. It was an enjoyable, quick little story about a young woman who is going to Jamaica to her father. She is about to be wedded to this man, and she finds out that he has a horrible reputation. But before all of that can happen, she falls off this boat because pirates invade her ship, and she falls off, and she actually ends up on this ghost ship of like the worst pirate king ever, but he doesn't actually fit the rumors, and he's a very dashing young man, and they have this quick, I was gonna say fling, it's not a fling, but this quick romance story, and it was good. The art is beautiful, very, very stunning. Appreciate so many different panels that were in this. I mean, I probably read it in under an hour, maybe closer to like 30 minutes. It's pretty quick, and some scenes do happen faster than others. Like when they first kiss, I was like, okay, that was pretty out of the blue, but I really did like the romance and how it ended. And I do apologize if I sound weird. I think my allergies are acting up really bad today, because I have been sneezing so much this morning, and I'm like, what is going on? I would definitely recommend this if you're looking for a quick, enjoyable story that has just the perfect dash of danger, romance, and the slightest bit of angst, with some very beautiful art. I'm glad I did read it, even though I felt bad, because I was gonna read, is it Pitchy Pitchy Pitch Mermaid Melody Aqua? I think it's that. I will put the cover here if you want to see it. Very, very beautiful. I got this recommendation from Sushi Rainbow on Instagram, and my initial plan was to read that for today's video, but then I found the Pirate King, and I was like, this just seems cute and fluffy, and that's what I wanted. Not that Mermaid Melody doesn't have that, but I don't know. I just wanted to try something new, I guess. I don't know. But I would recommend that one as well. I have not personally read it yet, but I have been very curious, and the cover is so beautiful. For number 2, I am recommending what's mainly a digital only title. Like, you can find it physically, and that's Destiny's Hand. It is an omnibus of 1 through 3, all of the series, but I think it's sort of like out of print, but I used to have it long time ago. In fact, I even read this series digitally, because you can get volumes 1 through 3 on Amazon for free, and I did check last night, it is still free. If you want to check out my thoughts on it, check it out here, or check out the video there. I mean, it was so much fun. I feel like if you like the idea of pirates, especially especially a female pirate, and you want something a lot shorter than One Piece, that would be a great story to check out. I deeply enjoyed each volume. It was so much fun. Olivia is like a fantastic heroine to follow. She can kick butt, and she's really just good at being a pirate and taking charge and living on the dangerous side. I feel like she just is very admirable and fits that role of what I wanted of a dangerous pirate captain that was a female. It was very, very good. In fact, I didn't even know that this won an award in like 2011 for comics that are great for teens or something like that. And I was like, oh, like it didn't even know. But this is another one. If you want less romance, this would be a great one to check out because it definitely is like the whole story almost is taking place either on the ship or definitely by the ocean, because as it gets too closer to volume 3, the tension and the stakes are upping up and you definitely have a lot more mystery. And I really loved how everything came together in volume 3. I think there was like one romantic scene that I just wanted more of because the romance definitely is on the lighter side. Like I say, it's like 25% or less of this manga, and Olivia doesn't even really have a romance. So again, if that's something that you prefer, like you want that dashing, let's say dashing knights, but no. The Pirate King is the dashing knight, so to speak. This one just has more living on edge, that danger that I mentioned, and great art as well, and has some really good humor. I just really remember enjoying it, and I almost was going to reread it before this video because I was like, it has been so long since I've read Destiny's Hand. It's a fantastic read, and if you're looking for, like I said, a free digital manga to check out that's not a huge commitment, I would definitely check it out on Amazon. I don't know if other book retailers have it for free, but I definitely know that Amazon does. Very happy to feature this one because it's been so long since I've talked about it or even read it or anything. For number 3, I was about to say have my first physical manga, but I'm pretty sure all of them are out of stock right now. So I was like, oh, I didn't think about that before now, but I'm going to say The Earl and the Fairy, specifically volumes 1 and 2, because 3 and 4 don't really take place by the ocean. This is not a beachy read, and I purposely was very excited to feature this one because if you're looking for a mystery story that definitely has some danger, I really love our main character, Lydia. She really stands her ground against Eggert because I think she calls him a scoundrel when I was rereading this morning. And I'm like, he really is. Like, you really don't know what his intentions are because he needs Lydia because she is a fairy queen, and Eggert is saying that he is the descendant, I think it's of the Blue Fairy King, but he's the descendant of this man that is a ruler of the fairy kingdom. There's a lot of mystery woven in with that because you can't just go find the fairy kingdom. Like, you have to go through some steps to basically find it, and that's why he needed Lydia, because he needed her to help him solve this riddle and this mystery to how he can actually get his inheritance. And Eggert here he is such an interesting character. I did not love him in the very beginning, and I did talk a lot more about this in a previous video review that I did maybe last year because my friend Sarah finally convinced me, not finally, she had read the series, loved it, and I finally got on the hype train with her and read it. I have volumes 2 through 4 on back order because this was just such a fun series. I really enjoyed how we have more of a European, like, mythology, fantasy elements, usually like in Japanese, well, manga, obviously, that we have more Japanese mythology. But in this series, it was actually European mythology, and I really enjoyed that. It reminded me a lot of the fantasy novels that I used to read. So if you're looking for a title that has a lot of mystery, and definitely in volume 2 specifically, has a large role where the ocean is sort of almost like a character, or things with the ocean almost like a character, this is a really great one to try, especially if you like the dangerous, you don't know his you know his motivations, but you're not sure of his intentions, like talking about those kind of heroes, then this is, yes, a very fun one to check out. I really enjoyed the mystery. I'm just bummed that we didn't get more of this story, though thankfully, since I have done that video review, I believe it's J Novel Club, they have officially licensed the light novel of this series. It's digital only, unfortunately, but if you do want to read more than what the manga covers, because that was like the only downside of volume 4, that you can tell the story is not over. Like, it's really hitting its stride. It's just the beginning of Eggert and Lydia's adventures together. Then definitely check out the light novels. I keep meaning to read the preview to see if I'd like to buy them because I'm more prone to read physically what I have than digitally what I have. But I'm really excited to feature this one because, like I said, I feel like it's very different than the reads I featured thus far and reads I'm going to be featuring here shortly, because I'm like, you know, sometimes you just want want that mystery, and I love just how things come to be by the ocean in the second volume. Like, I love the second volume. That was my favorite volume of the series. So very good. Highly recommend. For number 4, I am so bummed that I do not have this on hand. My library system has it. Not my personal library, but my library system does have it. But I couldn't check it out because our rule, I don't know if it's every library's rule, but at least in my state, the rule is that it has to be at this library branch for 6 months before out of county or out of library, I guess you would say, can check it out. And I was so bummed. That is Mermaid Scales in the Town of Sand, I believe is the name of it. I have received so many recommendations. In fact, just yesterday when I asked for recommendations, this one popped up again. And I'm like, oh, like I want to read it. I know it's on the Viz Media app. Did feature that in the video that was talking about 10 different shoujo and josei, because this is a josei title manga that I would love to read that's on there. But I really want to be able to hold this physically. So I've just got to be patient and wait, I guess closer till Christmas before I can read it physically. So hopefully next year I can definitely get reading on it because it's really interesting. And I finally read the blurb, and it's a little bit different than I think I explained in that video, in that yes, it does have a mystery, but this young woman, her father and her mother have decided to split up, and so she goes with her father to this coastal town. She's having a hard time fitting in because I guess everybody in this town, in this coastal village, have gone to school with each other, you know, for all of their lives, and I think she's in 6th grade now, and so she's definitely the outsider who hasn't been there, but there's another young man or young boy. He is also an outsider, and they form a friendship. And I guess as she's forming this friendship or getting to know this young man, she starts having memories of when she was drowning, and she feels or thinks she remembers that a merman or a mermaid had actually saved her from drowning. But the thing is she's like, I don't believe in merfolk or mermaids or anything, but in this coastal village, they have an annual festival celebrating the merfolk. And so I guess it's this story of, I've heard it's very coming of age, but also that she is learning or remembering and seeing, was it actually a merman or mermaid that actually saved her all those years ago? I have been so curious about this manga. I feel it was really, really under the radar originally, but then as people have picked it up, like everybody keeps gushing how great this story is. I think there was only like one review of one person saying that it's not a huge heavy set mystery, but it's more of the coming of age. And I'm down for either one. I have not actually read the preview of this one, or if I have, it's been a while since I have read it, and I'm like, I don't remember, but I do remember I really enjoy the art. So I wanted to feature this one since I've gotten so many personal recommendations for it, and it's very high on my TBR of wanting to check out. It'd be nice if I could read this by the end of July, but I don't remember when this released and if it would technically be 6 months. But hopefully, like I said, by next year, I'll have a review, could give some more concise thoughts on it and what I think of it. For number 5, this one I put in here because of TsukkiMoon, and I hope I'm gonna say the series correctly. Urakakamon, am I saying that right? Hopefully. This series has been like on my radar, but never high on my radar, and I didn't even realize until after TsukkiMoon had recommended it that it actually happens at an island. This young man, I forget his name, but he does calligraphy for reasons unknown, at least to the reader, I guess in the beginning, because it doesn't say in the blurb. He ends up going to this very rural area on this island, and he is a, I guess, straight city boy through and through, has never been outside of the city, and he is basically being taught the ways of the countryside by this 1st grader. Apparently it's really, really funny. I guess I didn't realize how humorous it was, but I know like on Right Stuff, I was reading the reviews and everybody says that it is a great slice of life story, and I'm like, apparently I am super missing out. I remember when I first wanted to check out this manga, it was out of stock and really, really hard to find. But apparently all the volumes are back in stock, and I was like, oh no. I was like, Laura, we're not buying any new series. I need to go check and see if my library has it, because this was one of the, I think the earliest recommendations I've gotten when I was first entering into the manga community. I know for sure that Library Wars, Kitchen Princess were both the very first 2 like recommendations I ever received when getting into manga, but I feel like this manga was pretty high up there, and I don't don't know, I guess because not that the cover's plain or the cover's bad, but I felt like compared to the shoujo manga covers of Library Wars and Kitchen Princess, I chose those. I chose those instead. And I've just never come back to this series. But I'm like, okay, seems like a great read that's set by the ocean to me. If we're on an island, it has to be. This was a reminder to me to go check out and see if the library has it and get up on this, because I love slice of life manga. I always think it's really enjoyable, whether it has romance or not. But I definitely feel like when you have kids are a major part of the cast and a big role in the story, I feel like it's usually always really funny and very, very enjoyable because kids can be absolutely hilarious. And so I'm curious about this young man who goes by Sensei, I guess, by the kids, or they call him Sensei, seeing how the shenanigans unfold of him being this city boy, being taught just the ways of rural life. And I wouldn't say that I am a city girl by any means, but I don't feel, we're in the suburbs, so I'm like, we still have things that are nearby. I'm not really sure how I would do either if I was like uprooted here to a rural island. I don't know how I would do. So I'm excited to feature this one. Sorry I can't say more about the actual story. If you've read it, definitely let me know. Come gush to me in the comments and get me reading this series because I definitely need to get up on it, it sounds like. For my honorable mention, I really struggled. There was a lot of different ones that I wanted to feature. I'm thankful I was able to talk about Mermaid Melody earlier because I was originally going to do this for my honorable mention, but last night I was like talking to my husband, I was like, hey, I have all the anime you've seen because he's been really into anime. I'm like, are there any anime that take place by the ocean that you would recommend to me? He was like, I don't know. And as we were talking, I was like, how could I forget that this obviously takes place by the ocean, on the ocean, in the ocean, and that is One Piece. I'm like, how did I forget? Like, how? I'm like, this is some of my favorite characters, and it just didn't even dawn on me. I think because originally when I was brainstorming manga for this prompt, my brain kept going to mermaids, because mermaids definitely, you know, are in the ocean, by the ocean, like you don't have any worries there. But I'm like, hello, pirates are by the ocean too. And so I had to feature One Piece. I have not continued watching the anime recently for a while, but I have just not been in a huge anime mood. And I'm definitely one of those people, like, I'm not going to force myself to watch anime because I really want to enjoy what I'm watching, because I don't typically watch anything unless it's like things that my kids are watching on TV. One day I will start the manga. I know that we got the license announcement for Ace's story by, what is that guy's name? He does the art for Dr. Stone. Is it Boichi? I think that's that guy's name. Oh, I really want to get it because I'm like, Ace looks absolutely amazing and he deserves to shine. This is actually part of why I did this cover, because Ace is on it. He is my favorite character from One Piece, and he is just one of my all-time favorite characters. He's in my top 5 favorite characters ever. I absolutely love him, even though I know things happen. And so One Piece is absolutely amazing. I know the live action, we just got the trailer, and I feel pretty optimistic about it. I think the thing that has me most excited is definitely Zoro, because Zoro looks amazing, but really the setting. I feel like you can just book a flight to the setting of One Piece, and I think that is just absolutely amazing, because one of the fantastic things about this series is, even though like a large, huge part of it takes place by the ocean, and on the ocean, you travel to so many, or these characters travel to so many different places that are each unique and very different. Some of them aren't necessarily always by the ocean, but I feel like Oda just has this incredible creativity in just bringing to life different places where despite that it's over 100 volumes, that it never feels boring when you're at these different islands, at these different countries, and you find out the different politics and just meet different characters. It's all so very, very, very engaging, and I really miss the characters. I keep seeing One Piece pens that are for sale online, and I'm just like, I want to buy them, but I told myself that I cannot buy any more One Piece pens until I start actively reading the manga, or I start actively watching the anime again, because I'm like, I only have so much space. But yes, One Piece, I would definitely recommend. The characters are fantastic, the setting is amazing, and the story is just absolutely mind-blowing. You have, I think like somebody said, when you have highs, they're really high highs, and then when you have lows, they're really, really lows. It's so very true. Like, this definitely takes you on an emotional journey, and it's been so satisfying to read and have seen what I have thus far. And that, my friends, wraps up my picks for books set by the ocean. I hope that I was able to give a little bit of diversity and not do just pirates or just mermaids and throw in things that may not really seem like a beachy read, but still could be enjoyable if you're at the beach, or if you're just at home wishing you could be at the beach, because that's definitely where I am right now. But what about you, friends? What are some books that you know of that are set by the ocean? Definitely let me know, because I felt like I didn't have as many as I wanted to feature, or at least I like, you know, a large pool to choose from. So definitely let me know if you have any recommendations, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!